Good evening, everybody. I'll be a little bit more quiet because my flatmates are sleeping, but I think it's time for a good video. The title of today is You Have to Face Your Fear. It's very important, and this is something that I've been doing on a daily basis since since my healing journey began the 7th of January 2021, a date that I cannot forget. Is just something very specific that triggered this whole process, and I knew that after that day I would never see life the same way I did before. But of course, some things I cannot tell you for now, at least. Maybe more in the future I will. But anyway, when you think that everything is about to end, oftentimes that's when everything is just about to begin. And that's exactly what happened to me that evening without me directly being aware of it or expecting it. But that's what happened. So yeah. You know, when you go through a storm, the longer the storm, the more you're in there. Once you're out, you're a brand new human being. Because pain teaches you a lot. So, you know, sometimes I'm not thankful for certain situations that I've been through, but I'm thankful for the lessons and how deep I had to dig afterwards. Anyway, when it comes to fear, you have to face it every single day. It's just something that never becomes automatic because it's fear. So you have to activate the manual mode in your brain. It's like, you know, disconnect the autopilot and just push yourself towards the fear. I do as many things as I can that I'm scared of during the day, and I take it one day at a time. I can give you an example. Now, oftentimes at really late during the day, I can go in the woods in the middle of the forest all alone and just walk. I'm not talking about a park, I'm talking about a real forest. Well, you're gonna see it in this channel a bit later, but do you know what that means? When you're in the middle of the forest all alone with no signal on your phone, yeah man, that's scary, but you just gain all this power once you go through this process. I mean, it's just an example. There's a reward on the other side of fear, and it's not automatically connected to whether you succeed or not, or whether you get what you want. The reward is after the push itself, the action, right? So you're gonna get rewarded by your nervous system, mostly in your brain. So yeah, if you ask for more courage, you're not gonna get courage, you're gonna get opportunities to be courageous. With fear, is the same thing. It's an opportunity. It's telling you, hey, do you want to come here? Every time you look away from it, it wins. But the more you face it, the more you get used to it. And the fear, it doesn't really go away. But when you keep facing it, you beat it. But you have to face it. So yeah. Let's say, for example, there's a woman that you like, right? Fear can hold you back, or you can beat it. You might not get the woman, but you beat the fear, right? Is how it works. In a lot of things, I do it really every single day, man. Like, it's just a never ending process. And it can be really anything. You know, of course, as a conscious human being, before you do something, you still have to think with your brain, right? It's not like you're like, oh, I'm feared to, I don't know, more like something stupid. It has to make sense, of course, right? But it's important that you face it and you get used to being in that state of fear every day, right? Why am I not so scared? Because every day I put myself in high stakes situations on purpose so that I'm used to hanging out inside this fear, right? It's just a state to which you're used to being in. But if you never experience it, you're always going to run away from it. So yeah, I do it almost every hour actually. Do something that I'm scared to write, say, or do whatever. And it's like a reinforcement. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. But otherwise, you will never become brave. How do you want to become brave if you're not ready to be in a high stakes situation? By being home on the couch, you're not gonna become brave. So yeah, you're gonna have to go on the battlefield and fight if you want to succeed. So yeah, the toughest battles for, I don't know how this saying is, I've heard some philosophical quote. I think it's like, toughest soldiers get the toughest battles or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, fear is just every day I know I'm gonna encounter it because I'm looking forward to it. I wake up for this to overcome my limits. Every day, just push, push, push. And yeah, it's gonna be almost 5 years now since my healing journey began. And still, of course, you're scared, but you just push through it anyway. High stakes situation. When the stakes are high, that's when you get it done. Danger is real, yeah, no doubt about it. Depends what you want to do. You have to use your brain, right? It's not like you're gonna jump from you say you go parachuting somewhere and then you say, oh, okay, I'm not scared, you leave a parachute. I mean, that's stupid, right? So if you face your fear, it has to be something that makes sense and brings learning and something positive into your life. So yeah, let me know in the comments what has been your experience with this, but it's definitely, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. You know, I do Thai boxing now, right? You're scared to get punched in the face. What do? You get in the ring, you get punched in the face. Now you know what it's like. Of course, nobody wants to get hurt or brain damage, but it's like putting yourself in these environments where you're uncomfortable. It can be public speaking. It can be, again, Thai boxing. I was just going to the gym before. Then I end up in a place where people throw kicks and jumps and punches, whatever. Yeah, that's fear. But you gotta handle it. But I'm somebody who, as I say, I never go to the lake to just get my feet wet. I either jump or I stay on the shore. So this doing things halfway, not my style. But yeah, that's how it is. Work on your fear. And also on your insecurities. Everything just work. Work. Never give up.